James the Intern. James the Intern. James the Intern.
Hey guys, it's me, James the Intern, and I am here with the Jared Gertner of Book of Mormon. And we are actually sitting in the house.
Yes.
How exciting is that? And Jared was just telling us this is actually where he sits because you are the standby swing.
Just standby.
Just standby.
Mm-hmm.
Just the standby in the show. And he sits here, he was telling us with his little iPad.
Well, the iPad stays in the dressing room because I think it would be distracting everybody back here. But I sit here and I can watch the show. So if you come on any given night, I might be sitting on the stairs watching the show.
Little show behind the show.
Yeah, I try and watch it every once in a while.
Do you get a kick out of it still every time?
I do. Yeah, I mean it's a really funny show. In the beginning, I watched it like almost every show because I hadn't got on yet and I was still sort of learning it, and I laughed every time. And now I watch it maybe once a week just because any show naturally sort of like morphs itself, and so you want to keep up with what's going on stage. But I still really love it. And the nice thing about it is everyone in our show is so funny and so specific that sometimes I'll just pick a person and just watch them.
Watch their whole track throughout the whole show.
And just watch them, yeah, because they're always doing something kind of brilliant in the background. So that's fun to watch too.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting just to like be in here and like spy on them. Is it fun to watch the reaction of the audience every night as well?
Yeah, I actually think that's sort of the most interesting thing about being a standby, and one of the things that I think is a real benefit that I have, which is that I get to watch the show and get to see how the audience responds, and I think anytime you're in a show, because I've never covered before, this is my first time, and when you're in a show, you sort of wish you had the perspective to know what the whole stage picture looks like, and to know what everybody's doing on stage so that you don't, so that you can help tell the story and help push the focus where it needs to go. And I feel like I have an incredible perspective on this show because I watch it so often. I see what the audience laughs at. I see what they're looking at, what they're smiling at, what gets to them, and what's the most important thing on stage at any moment.
So you can almost tailor your performance.
Yeah, in a way that I've never been able to before because when you're on stage, you only know your own experience within the show. And I know the whole show by watching. So I feel like that helps me a lot in my performance. I feel like I'm able to help the show more when I go on because I can push focus and what have you.
Weave around.
Weave around. I can do this. Sort of
A little bit of this.
weird club dancing stuff.
I'm really good at weird club dancing.
I'm oddly enough not very good.
Oh, it's actually a special skill on mine.
Oh, mine is just elephant noises.
Can you do that for us?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have that, and I have, I don't know what else I have on there. Like driver's license and stick shift.
I've always wanted to put like fitted sheet folding on mine, but I don't know how you would demonstrate that in the moment.
See, I have no idea how to fold a fitted sheet.
Oh, well, let me tell you, you want to fold the outsides in first.
So that you
have
create a square. Oh,
and then
yeah. It's still so hard. I just call it up.
I mean, that's the other way to do it. No one sees it.
Right. It's just
So, do you have like a favorite moment of the show that you love
to watch or
performing in or watching, either or?
Performing, my favorite is You're Making Things Up Again, Arnold, which is the number at the top of Act 2. I think the whole scene works like a little play. Like it has this incredible arc, and it's like the beginning of Arnold Cunningham trying to really find himself. And it's so funny, and I think because it was so hard to learn, because there are like chunks of dialogue, and it's all like, it's supposed to be passages from the Book of Mormon. So it was so hard to learn, and we were just drilling it. And so once I did get it, the reward of actually getting to do it is really exciting.
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite. Man Up is really fun too, which is the end of Act 1, but it's so exhausting that when it's over, I could literally just lie on the floor and go to sleep.
Yeah, you guys work.
The first time I did it, I thought, because I went on and I thought, I will not be able to do Act 2 now. I'm done.
I'm going home.
That was the last time I'll ever sing.
Have a good
and
night.
now I'm done. Yeah. So I really like doing it because there are moments when sometimes I can step out and think I'm standing by myself on a Broadway stage singing this incredible, hilarious rock song.
Yeah.
But if I let myself do that too much, I'd go crazy. So I try not to think about how freaking cool that moment is.
Does like the inner theater geek like inside of you back in high school like freak out every night?
Still a little bit, yeah. I mean, I think some actors lose that a little bit. I'm one of those actors that still, I kind of every day I'm like, I can't believe I get, like, who did I fool? I can't know if I get to do this for a living, you know? It's very cool, and when you get to do it in something like this, which is so funny, and the audience goes so crazy for it every night, yeah, I'm kind of geeky in that way. Like I can go on and on about how much it means to me and how lucky I feel and all that, and it's completely
You get to
genuine.
play for a living.
I do get to play for a living.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
And you get to play in an amazing show that is in pre-sales for 2 years.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
It's wild. I mean, when I go on, getting people in to see me is actually way harder than doing the show.
Yeah.
It's more like my mother on the phone being like, this person from our synagogue wants to come and you have to get them in. That is so much more stressful than actually doing the show. It makes doing the show kind of like a vacation. Once I'm up there, I don't have to worry about tickets anymore.
In 2 hours, you get to like completely forget about it.
Yeah, completely.
But how exciting is that? You basically have a job for 2 years. That's crazy.
It's nice. I mean, I think, and you get that feeling here in the building. We all know that we're involved with something really special.
Oh yeah,
and,
definitely. Like this is groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's one thing to get to be in a Broadway show, and then it's another thing to be in a Broadway show that is a hit. But then to be in something like this, where it's like this mega hit or whatever, it's crazy. And so everyone here, one, you can relax a little bit. You're not thinking, oh God, what's my next job? And two, you just feel really lucky. It's cool, and you're so happy. It's like it's a happy place to go to work.
You get to kind of just be involved in the show and get to cancel out all the other distractions around you.
Yeah, I think so.
And you also played Barfay, a little theater down the way, Circle in the Square.
I did. I did Spelling for 2 years. I did it for the first national company. Funny story. They it had been on Broadway for a little less than a year, and they needed someone to replace Dan Fogler, who was the original Barfay, won the Tony for Barfay. They needed someone to replace him here on Broadway, and then they needed someone to go open the first national company, which was going to be the San Francisco Sit-Down. And on the very same day, Josh Gad and I both got hired. Josh Gad got hired to take over for Dan Fogler, and I got hired to open that first company. And then I did it. And then I did it for a year out of town, and then came and took over for Josh on Broadway. So, and now here we are in Book of Mormon, and I'm standing by for Josh. So, yeah.
Isn't it funny how that works out?
And Rory was an understudy. Rory O'Neill was an understudy at Spelling Bee at the same time. So.
Little family.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you guys have little fun, like inside jokes that you can't share with the other cast because of that?
Yeah, we do, and we laugh and just make everyone feel really bad for not. No, not.
They should.
Josh and I didn't actually do it at the same time, which is nice, but which is we can't do that. But Rory and I did a little. Rory and I, even more interesting. I'm gonna make again. Rory and I. His best friend from high school was my college roommate. So when he was at college at Carnegie Mellon and I was at NYU, Rory used to come visit New York City, and he would sleep on my floor in my dorm room. And now we've done 2 Broadway shows together. I love that kind of stuff.
It's such a small world. The Broadway community is really, really small.
Yeah, teeny tiny.
It feels so big, but it's not.
Nope.
Little interweavings.
Yeah.
In the show, what do you do to keep it fresh every night, to keep the comedy like alive and going? Do you have any special like tips?
I think for me it's a little easier because I don't do it as much, so it still is. It feels really fresh for me every time. But my thing is whenever I'm doing a show that I've done a lot of times, the best way to stay fresh and in it is to just take as much as you can from the people you're on stage with.
Yeah.
So if I start to feel, if I ever have a night where I'm feeling under, which I haven't yet at Mormon because it's so fun, and because I don't do it that much, so I'm still, when I go on, I'm still like this a little bit. You know
You're like ready to go.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've relaxed a little bit into it, but I'm still I can't relax too much because it's not as regular for me. But I'll just, if you look at someone like Andrew Reynolds on stage, who's just always in it, it's so great, and so funny, and that'll get you through it. You get each other through it. But I remember when I was doing Spelling Bee, we were just about to start our run in San Francisco, and James Lapine was out there, and he had told us, before he left, he said, as you do this run, because you're going to be here for a long time, think about changing things every once in a while. And think about, every couple of weeks, approach a scene completely differently. Just come out and say, just pick a moment. Don't say I'm going to do the whole show differently. Say, that one scene, I'm going to try this tonight. And just try something new, and it'll keep informing you, and that will ultimately inform the rest of the show.
Which must have been amazing to have that freedom.
It was, yeah. And to some degree, we have it here. I mean, they're very kind with us about letting the show breathe And specifically with me, letting me do my own show. No one has ever asked me to imitate Josh or to do the show exactly as Josh does it. And I think anyone who's seen both of us will say that we're very different in the role. And that's really nice, because I think there's other shows where, as a standby, you probably
You're
have
asked
to like
carbon copy.
Yeah, and what a drag that would be.
Yeah.
Especially like I can't imagine going on stage and imitating Josh. He's so specific and hilarious and brilliant in his own way that no one else could ever replicate. So it's a lucky thing that I'm here in the show where they let me play. You know?
Playing is always a good time. And if you get paid for it, like you're not even really working, which is even better.
It is kind of it's cool. It's
But
really
don't be
cool
confused.
to get paid to do this.
They work.
We do work.
This show is energy, energy, energy.
Yeah.
Do not be confused. If you get to see it, stand out in that line, which must be intimidating walking into the building, speaking of that line, with all those people waiting for the rush tickets.
I love it. I mean, I feel like the day I show up at the theater and there's no line will be the day that I'm intimidated. That's the day when I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah.
And you have a Twitter?
I do, at Jared Gertner. It's really complex.
At Jared Gertner.
Yeah.
It's simple. Tweet him. Do it. And we actually have a little gift for you.
Gift.
We were told that the boys of Mormon have a little affinity for frogs.
Oh.
And we got you a little Easter frog.
I love that. I love that.
We thought it might cheer you up in your little dressing room.
It will, and you know, Easter's always kind of a drag for a Jew. So now I have my little Easter frog.
But now, every night you're also a Mormon though, so you can have a little bit of Easter.
That's true. I should try and get in touch with that. Yeah, the frog has really become quite a statement for Mormon. There's lots of sort of frog paraphernalia backstage.
But you
really
have
cool.
to see the show to get it.
Yeah, come see the show.
That's the only stipulation.
This guy get defiled. Yeah. That's all we'll say though.
That's all we'll say. Thank you so much for sitting
It was
down
my
with us.
pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Go spot people.
James the intern.